Hey. Usually I'm going like this because I'm watching like the little circle go around. So what I'm doing right now, I'm inviting everybody to check out my live interview with the beautiful Jenique Bennett. But before she comes on, I just wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys. Listen, did you guys see the Grammys? Yes, I'm sitting here inviting a bunch of people. I'm gonna tell you about that in a couple of seconds, what I thought about it. But I like the way they had Trevor Noah go ahead and do the whole introduction to, well, he was like I guess, the MC for the night and everything. I thought it was pretty cool. I like the whole social distance thing, what they did. I thought that was like pretty cool as well too. And I like the fact that when that particular category of people came out, then you saw that group of people. But I'm gonna tell you something, right? You could tell like the hip hop and pop and R&B different from maybe country or whatever. Country has like a different flavor of dressing, and of course hip hop and R&B has a whole different flavor of appearing or whatever. So anyway, when the hip hop and R&B and all of that came out, you saw the colorful hair, you saw the very bright mask and colorful mask. Taylor Swift had this flowery mask on type of deal that I thought was pretty cool. I liked it. And my girl, Megan Thee Stallion, I love her. I love her. And I feel that Megan is like mucho humble and down to earth. And if I ever have a chance to interview old girl, that's going to be the girl that I want to go ahead and interview. So anyway, I'm inviting everybody for my special guest. I'm so excited. I'm really excited because my maiden name is Bennett and her last name is Bennett too. And she is a beautiful woman. And I sat down and binge watched like everything that she was in. She's a phenomenal actress as well. And she's out there doing some big stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and interview her. And I can't wait. It's going to be good. So if you see like an empty spot right there, that's what she's going to be. I'm going to be interviewing her. And I'm like really excited about that. And of course, we're gonna be talking about everything that she does, as I've been putting out there on social media for like the last couple of days. Um, that she is an actress and she's been in commercial. She's been on major movie sets. She's done some independent stuff and stuff like that. So we're gonna get all into that, and I'm really excited about that. And I want to do a shout out for all of the people who inboxed me. I lost my voice, so I was supposed to do an interview with another actor. His name was John, and that is pushed to the 22nd. So after I finish this video right here, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description. But if you go to the Dee Dee Walker live page, you can go ahead and look out for that. And go ahead and make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bells and it'll give you some updates and it'll tell you the exact time what's going on. So anyway, I am so like pumped. I'm so excited. I've been watching this young lady forever. She is ultra beautiful. I talked to her brief before we decided to go ahead and go live tonight. Well, we already decided to go live, but I talked to her brief. We did like a little sound check. She sounded really great. And I can already tell she's like down to earth and she's like major mad cool. So I know you guys are waiting for this like interview that we're about to do. So what I would love for you guys to do, I'd love for you guys to share this interview, whether you're watching us live or whatever. Make sure you put some comments in there. So if you got any questions, if you're looking at us at a later time, still put your comments because I will call back and I will answer them. And I'm sure Jenique will do that as well. I'm excited, you guys. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes. We've got the beautiful, the young, and the talented Jenique Bennett. She's about to come on in a couple of seconds. Jenique, are you there? Yay!
Hey. I like to make an entrance.
Oh my God, Jenique, I love your hair, Mama. That is so pretty.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
it. I love it. Jenique, I've been watching you. I've been looking at your movies and everything. You're an awesome actress. And I love the stuff that you're doing. One of the things that I forgot to mention before you came on here, just to let you guys know, she's been in a Hunger Games, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1, Boomerang, Beautifully Insecure, The Fox Hunter. You've been in commercials, like a Walmart commercial. I love
Mm.
that commercial. And I'm sure the listeners will stop there. So we're definitely going to get all into that. So anyway, how you doing, Mama?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
You were out there doing some stuff. I'm like so happy for you. Do
I'm
you know?
trying. It's you take it day by day, but
I
more
have
so
fun.
than huh?
No, no, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was like just in it to create and have fun.
Um, one of the things I notice about you, you've done like different parts. There's like no, like, some people, like for me, when I'm acting, so far I've played the mean girl every single time, hands down.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
notice that you're acting in different stuff and like that. So I love to ask people, I know it's a very basic question, but what got you into acting?
I mean, I started. I grew up in Germany, so I had a drama class. I kind of went into it accidentally. Um, it it ended up having it where we had to go from like place to place throughout the whole. Okay, let me start over. So basically, we go from like we go to Cape Town, we go to like basically different places all over Europe, and I ended up kind of starting there, but then later on I started modeling, and then it became more of a like a lot of more eye candy type stuff, and I pretty much would I wanted more of like the high fashion stuff, but obviously not like super skinny or whatnot. So then I ended up doing extra work or started with extra work, and then I fell in love after like literally watching like the other actors, and then I went from doing background to stand in and being a stand in for some of the major or some for some of the main actors. I ended up being like kind of like this better than background because I wanted to be able to create, and as background you get to create but you don't really get to be heard and seen as much, so that's pretty much how I got started.
So, like some of the names that I've mentioned, like you've been in Hunger Games, and I kind of would love for you to tell us a little bit about like what you did in each part, one of them. Let's start with Hunger Games. What did you do in Hunger Games?
I was a hovercraft pilot. I ended up I think as soon as I signed with the agent I ended up actually booking that. That was like the first thing I ever got to do, and it's pretty cool. I had my own. I got on set and I was like, "Oh, is this mine?" For that whole hovercraft. But yeah, I was a hovercraft pilot. It was the scene where we go and rescue Pita and them, and it's a cool, fun scene. Not all of it was seen or shown, but it was it's the acting world. You only get to see what they want you to see.
What they want you to say? So that role right there, a lot of people, and this was a question that some of the folks asked me because I was like, "Is there any questions you want to ask us?" So I wrote down a couple of like, did you have to go to pilot school? Was
No,
that
they
even required?
for for that one they just mainly wanted to know if you had any military background, and with growing up military, it was one of those things where I was like been around military all my life, so it was like um, pretty much knowing how to act like I was in the military. Because I think when it comes to stuff like that, they don't want to see that you don't know how to handle that if you had to, which was kind of interesting because there was not really much military to it other than how you had to sound. And I know, like, I think whenever I showed some people that audition, they were like, "That was you." And I was like, yeah.
But in Hunger Games, these are another questions. Were there anybody were there any like the main stars or whatever? Did you get to hang out with them? What was the deal with all of that?
Usually, you when you end up being on set, everybody, all the actors are pretty much in the same spot. So yeah,
Hmm.
you pretty much hung out. I remember whenever I ended up, before I found out who I was acting with, Mahershala. I think that's how you say, call him Ali, but he was in our hotel, and he was like having a meeting, and I was like, we ended up getting snowed in, so like one day we are just there, and I ended up looking, and I was like, oh, I know him. And then I ended up working with him the next day, and then we rode in the van together, and then we just had a conversation. I was like, you just learn so much. But yeah, you get to hang out, and then you get to actually get a little bit of wisdom from the people who have been doing it a lot longer.
Doing it stuff like that. Oh wow! So your acting career has taken you so many different places. Like, could you explain a little bit about Mockingjay and your part in that one? Mockingjay Part One. I'm sorry.
I mean, like I said, it was just I ended up flying the hovercraft over and rescuing Pita, but it was like, I mean, it wasn't like a major part. It was like a little small role, but it was a pivotal moment where we ended up having to rescue people. So you pretty much know. You're like, I can't remember um, some of the stuff that was going on beforehand, but I know that I remember it was that part right where when they rescued him, and
I love it. What about Boomerang? Tell us about Boomerang.
Boomerang was the TV show, not the movie. It's a new TV show. That was quite interesting. Um, there it was like two different scenes, and I was playing a cougar and or an auntie. Well, I was also already graduated basically, and so and like I was like an alumni, and we were supposed to be like going into the college rooms, and we saw the two guys, and we are like, hey, you wanna hang out. And so we ended up that was the first part, the first scene, and the other scene is kind of a if you saw it, it was a shower scene. So it was, yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I don't know. Did you watch that episode, or did you watch
No,
Boomerang?
but I'm going to try to find it, and I'm going to, or if you have the information, I would like to connect it to this video so people can see it, and everything. I'm definitely going to have it because, of course, I love to invite people back on here so we can go ahead and we'll talk about that. But no, but go ahead, elaborate. Tell us about it now.
I mean, it was. We ended up. It was like a 2-day shoot. First day we ended up doing kind of like the dorm scene. They had us in these real elaborate like outfits, and it was very very interesting. I ended up actually wanting to keep some of the pieces, but couldn't. But but yeah. But other than that, first day shot people. There was supposed to be another scene that was happening afterwards, so they were sending people. We hadn't finished one scene, so they had other people coming in from the scene that's coming up, but it was only supposed to be us four in another scene. So it's like people were watching us like, what in the world are they wearing? Because it was very like, sequence, like nothing's matching, stuff from I don't know what time frame, but it was just like like the girl I was with, she had a fanny pack on, and we had like big old earrings, like gold, and it was I don't know what what they were trying to go for, but it was fun. And I had like a lipstick purse, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, it's like you're supposed to be partying, and like I said, people were looking at us like, what are they wearing? But
I love it.
and then the other scene, like I said, was like a shower scene, and it was supposed to it's supposed to be more about the main character, kind of like a little more of his little backstory. If you end up watching it, and it kind of leans toward some controversial things, from what I understood, but it was fun scenes.
So it seems like you've done a lot, and it seems like you're like in different roles. You went from a pilot to you went playing a cougar in Boomerang, the TV show. What about Beautifully Insecure? What was that about, and what role did you play in that one?
That one was my first lead role of actually being the lead, where people could see me in a film. My character, her name was Liana Hillman, and she ended up having alopecia. She's like, basically, it was kind of like one of those. She's really, really insecure. She hadn't really come to terms with it. I felt like it was kind of one of those movies that it was kind of an empowering thing, because we all have our insecurities, not just alopecia. Half the reason why I ended up doing that film, well, I felt drawn to do it and stuff like that, because I have a niece who has alopecia, and it's not like enough information out there for people to know more about alopecia. And yeah, I felt connected to the character because I'm just as shy as she is. But yeah, it was basically her coming in her own, like trying to learn to love herself, but not but actually I felt like it's kind of like she was kind of like everybody, where you learn to love yourself, but you're not really fully letting go, but you're being honest with yourself, saying these are the insecurities that I have, and she was hiding it from the world, and eventually she finds out that the guy that she's in love with already knew that she had alopecia, and she's been hiding it from him this whole time.
So, like a love story, so to speak. It's what it's kind of like.
Yeah.
I like that one. I like. What about the Fox Hunter? What was that about?
The Fox Hunter, that one was a fun one. She's a oh, I'm trying to remember what she did, because she ends up, I can't. I've had a brain fart. What did she do? Her name was Mildred, and she works for like kind of like a fashion industry kind of. I think like a big boutique. But she's like an assistant of somebody, of the main character, Sophia Bush. Love her. And not Sophia Bush. I can't believe I just got the wrong person. She reminded me of Sophia Bush. But yeah, she was one of the main characters in it, and not my character, but the person that she was the assistant to.
So, I was looking over your IMDb, which everybody definitely check out her IMDb. She's done some great stuff. I saw your reel of the different stuff that you're acting in, with some of the stuff that we've talked about tonight. And I noticed that when I had actually, like, you would tell me some of the stuff that you do, commercials. Saw you in the Walmart commercials. Which is, I know you love everything, but like, what was it like being in a commercial, Walmart commercial versus a movie? Like, and what do you like better, or you like them all, or whatever it is?
I mean, it's cool. I mean, I do a lot of commercial auditions. Sometimes I don't know if I'm a commercial actress, because I always feel like, I mean, I don't know, everybody has their lane, and I mean, I loved working on it, and that time you're like, what? It's Walmart? So, so awesome, and you're used to seeing the commercials, and you're like, it feels good to feel like you can actually fit in. And,
Mhm.
until then, I didn't feel like I could do, commercials. But, yeah, I love movies because I feel like that one you can actually have that character and then kind of end that character and then become a
Mhm.
different character for another movie. TV
Mhm.
shows, I haven't done too many TV shows, even though I've done a few that are about to come out. But it's it's kind of different to me to do a TV show because it's like you never know where that character is going to take, where they're going to go with that character. The movie, I feel like you know where that character is going. You can pretty
But
much plan it from here to here. Yeah, and then you have a little bit more leeway. Commercials is just you get to be yourself a little and then just have fun. If that makes sense.
it makes perfectly good sense. What I can say is right now that I see that you play like so many different parts. You do it very well. You fit into those slots and those parts, including the commercial too. Like your character, I could see. You know how some of these commercials like Geico, and they have like this ongoing commercial and stuff like that. I could totally see you doing one of those. I can.
Oh,
Or
thank
too, I wanted to. I wanted
you.
to ask you, do you see yourself because it seems like superheroes and stuff like that seems like to be the big thing right now. Do you see yourself playing any kind of superhero, anything like that?
you know that is like I want to be. I'm also like into cosplay and everything. I'm a big geek, but I would love to. I mean, I kind of have my own characters in mind where I'm like, you know what, you don't have to do what you have in the comic book. I have my own person. I would like to be. This is her powers, and this is all her. This is her backstory. Like she'll fit right in any one of your universes. So yeah. So kind of like some kind of assassin or I don't know. I like playing characters with power or
Mhm.
strength and stuff. Yes, it's it you can it's easier. It's easy to play somebody who is vulnerable, but at the same time it's hard. But to play somebody strong when sometimes you don't necessarily feel that way, but it kind of empowers you to feel that way. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. I get that from a lot of people that I talk who are in the film industry, and there's always I get a lot of people saying stuff like what you're saying, that it's harder to play somebody that's like, that's making a difference, has an impact, because you really got to be believable. And for any it becomes beyond the character. It then becomes about your character that brings into it, which makes it a little bit harder. So I get a lot of that. A lot of people say that to me and everything. What role would you never, well, we never say never, but maybe never do?
Um, it's hard to say, like you said, never, because there's been like auditions that I've had that spiritually I had a harder time with, um, because some things when you don't know what they're saying, and like they say playing a witch or demon or something like that. When you have to say something that's but like that's not what you would normally say on a regular basis, and there's no real language to it, and you're just saying stuff you don't know what you're saying, which you might be the person that might be opening some gateway or whatnot. Yeah, I believe in all that, but yeah, those are some of the roles, but I still obviously audition for them because of the fact that I feel like whatever might be meant regardless of how it might
Mm-hmm.
start off. Because I used to tell my mom and dad, I said, they're like really, really into the church. And they'll be like, you're playing what? You're playing a prostitute? And I'm like, but like say it was a movie about the Bible. Somebody has to play the devil. So, you have to have good, you have to have evil. So it just depends on the film to say
Mm-hmm.
yes or no to
so, so do you have any upcoming projects that you could talk about that you might be in?
I mean, aside from what's on IMDb, most of them are NDA, and unless it's already something that's been out. You're not allowed to say anything about them, even no matter how big or small your part is. But yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that I think I haven't looked to see when they're coming out, but some things on like BET. But like I said, you can't really say much. But I'm not really like.
I know. I'm putting you on the spot. I was hoping something, but that's okay. You know what? I love it anyway because what I would have, like I said before, I would love for you to come back. So once you've done whatever it is that you're doing, you come back whenever you're allowed to talk about it. I would love for you to come on this platform and tell us because I'm sure everybody's going to want to know and everything. I always ask this question, and I know and to me, and I say this all the time, but it's kind of like the most important question. Like, what advice can you give anybody who's trying to get into this industry? Because it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
But, it's always a lesson learned. And is there anything that you could pass on that you might want to say to somebody else?
I mean, I'd say one of the major things is know your price. Because in the industry, sometimes you'll have the opportunities that come with the price. And even though it might appear that, oh, this could be like a chance of a lifetime, it's one of those things where that chance of a lifetime can cost you so much, like your family, it can cost you your integrity, it can cost you your morals. And it's like, well, what are you willing to pay for that big break? And as far as breaking into the industry, don't look at somebody else's career and think if they're what they're doing, why am I not doing this type stuff? Actually, I know some actors who don't do like studies or workshops and stuff like that. And I'd be like, it's always good to, no matter how long you've been acting, to always study and practice and stay active.
You know what? I think that's really great advice. I love asking that question because even though it's the same question, everybody has a different answer, a different reason to or different conclusion to that question, and it's always good. So I love the advice that you gave. I think it's wonderful. I think it's beautiful. Again, I want to thank you so much for coming on the Dee Dee Walker Live Show. You are a beautiful woman inside and out. I don't know if I told you this, but I think I did a little bit earlier that my maiden name, my husband, no, I guess I didn't because you're looking at me like, no, you didn't. My maiden name is Bennett. Bennett. And so I was like, I wonder if we're related. And my husband is like, you think everybody with your last name. And I'm like, oh. But it's been like a pleasure having you on here. You are so down to earth. The stuff that you've done is phenomenal. And like I said before, you're an awesome actress. And I can't wait to see the stuff that you cannot talk about. I can't wait until you're in it so I can say, oh my God. And of course, I would love for you to come back. I would love for you to come back. So people who kind of keep up with you, which by the way, I'll be keeping up and letting the audience know from time to time. But what is your like social media and stuff like that?
I mean, I do have an Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, but depending on, I don't stay up on it as much because most of the time I'm like doing auditions and I got to focus on that as opposed to like posting and stuff. So, but yeah, like I don't really, aside from like just my name, on Instagram and Facebook, I can send you the links.
Just to let you know, that's my es tu madre. That's my mother.
Oh.
And hey, mama. I've been thinking about you to her like forever and a day. And I was like, I'm gonna have her on the show. And she goes, okay, baby, I'll make sure I'll look at the show and everything.
Cool.
So yes, you said TikTok, Instagram, definitely check out all of that stuff. If you can inbox me and go ahead and inbox me, I will make sure I will link all of this to this video so that they can see this and everything like that. So again, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. I can't wait until you come back. Best of luck in everything you do. Um, and the Hunger Games, loved you in that commercial. Awesome, awesome. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Like I need to ask you this. This is why you got to come back. Is there anything you want to say that I might have forgot? Anything, anything.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's hard to say because like most interviews, I think I kind of zone out. So if I'm a little all over the place, I'm sorry. But it's I don't know. I can't really remember all the questions, but I do know I am also a talker. So so I don't know. Yeah, if we forgot something, we can always pick it up next time.
Yes, yes. There we go. There we go. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I got everything in. Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming on here. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you later.
All
And
right.
everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Dee Dee Walker Live Show. Of course, Dee Dee Walker Live Show is out on Instagram, Twitter, what else? Facebook. You can go ahead and check them out. And then definitely, if you would like to follow me personally, the only Dee Dee Walker, and of course, there's the Dee Dee Walker fan page. Definitely support. Don't forget to subscribe, to hit the notification bell if you want to in upcoming videos like the #2 that I'm going to do with Miss Jenique Bennett, and all of that. And I want to say one more thing, and this is the most important thing. I love you, man.
All right, bye.